emerge. I mean, is trying to look into that to ensure that the best candidate succeeds the outgoing vice chancellors in those schools.
MJ, it can only get better.
Yeah.
It can only get better. Now to our next story. You know, by proposing a whopping 4.06 trillion naira for infrastructure development in the 2025 fiscal year, the president emphasized the centrality of infrastructure to the administration's development agenda. Of course, you remember the Renewed Hope Infrastructure Fund. It should not be lost on us. It is a vehicle to drive investments in critical sectors such as energy, transport, and public works. Might I mention that the 4.06 trillion naira proposed for infrastructure is the largest in our country's history, Majid?
Yes, and it's one thing to make a provision for infrastructure development. Is another thing for the approval process to be to be cumbersome.
Yeah.
Now, in his ingenuity, the president at the Federal Executive Council meeting just last week increased the threshold of approval for ministries, departments, and agencies. Before now, if you have a contract of 50 million and above, it will have to go to the Federal Executive Council. So
approval.
If the Federal Executive Council does not sit for like probably 3-4 weeks, I mean, no, you can't do anything.
Yeah.
Now, ministers or ministries can now approve infrastructure contracts of up to 10 billion naira at the ministerial tender level.
Come on.
This is a first that will change a lot of things. But it was, even if you have the budgetary provision, if you do not have the FEC approval, you cannot proceed with that project.
Yeah.
But now, with this ingenuity, with this increase in approval threshold, then if you are buying goods or you are procuring services, supplies that is not infrastructure based, the approval limit is pegged at 5 billion at the ministerial tender level.
Yeah.
But the ministers and the heads of those agencies must not see this as a way to siphon money.
Yeah.
There should be proper monitoring to ensure that this increase in the threshold of approval is not taken as an avenue. It's not seen as an avenue to fleshing their pockets, but that to ensure that this approval limit would enhance the jobs. I mean, this was approved for the FCT minister long ago by removing him from a TSA. So the FCT minister can afford to pay you 70% for a project that you can do. That's why you can see the project will be delivered. When you get 70% of the job, and we
all of those encumbrances.
May God help you if we pays you money and you do not. You do not
or even this man we are looking at.
Dave Umahi.
Dave Umahi, you know.
If we even check the texture of your concrete.
Dave Umahi goes about like with his measuring tape.
Yeah.
He will put the measuring tape, see how high the what is it called?
Is that concrete?
Is.
Or the
he expects that because they will measure it has to be so centimeter and all that. If you do not meet that threshold as a contractor, you are in trouble.
Yeah.
He can cancel. This is a man who cancelled a contract awarded to Julius Berger.
Julius Berger.
It's not common for such to happen. But you see, look at the Badagry-Sokoto highway. Big project is being done. Look at the Calabar-Lagos, 700-kilometer Calabar, Lagos.
That traverses 8 states.
Yeah, 7 states. Seven states. The coastal highway. Many people dismiss this. Oh, they've come again. These are liars. Now, they've gone to show people that, okay, we've done more than 30 kilometers. They are going, I think 45 kilometers or 47 kilometers. That is the Lagos end. They are trying to show the world that, look, we are right on target, especially with the Lagos end. It's just symbolism. But people are saying, oh, they are commissioning uncompleted. It is to show you, those of you who say that, look, these people have not done anything. Because I hear people say Tinubu has not achieved anything. And I'm like, what kind of selective amnesia
is this?
Are we dealing with here? You may hate an individual, but you cannot say that he has not done anything. And because you are saying he has not done anything, he wants to show you what he has done. Yeah. That's what Umahi has done. With this, with the inauguration of the Lagos end, so that you will see it. You put is like in your face.
Kind of says by December he will deliver the highway, Calabar Lagos. So
no, it's been done in phases. The Lagos phase of it, which terminates around Akodo, is what they have shown us. They've done more than 30 kilometers of that.
Out of the 45.
They've done 30 kilometers out of
45. Yeah, they are sand filling the remaining 17 now. And as a matter of fact, what the permanent secretary of the Ministry of Works used to be the permanent secretary of the State House. In his opening remarks yesterday, he said they are not just working on this Lagos end.
Yes,
they are working on 167 kilometers as we speak. So they are on 30, they are on 0 to 45 on the Lagos end, and they have completed 0 to 30. The remaining 17 or 15 is being sand-filled as we speak. That's from Lekki to the Akodo end. Now, he said they are also working around the Delta State area. Now, they also started from Calabar. They flagged from Calabar and Uyo. So they are working at 3 locations simultaneously. But that's to shame the naysayers. That's why they
decided to
showcase
it's not
30 kilometers.
So some are imagining that they are going to abandon the project. How can somebody show this much determination to deliver even ahead of schedule? How can you then say that? Because they've not spent up to 1 year on the project. You now say that they want to abandon it. No. Nigerians must cure themselves of this extreme pessimism about their country.
It's a malady.
And I just don't understand. So crazy. I thought about the fact I was in an hotel along with some of my guys, and we were looking at people using this road. They're already using this road in the night. They were driving through this. Yes.
Breakneck.
Yes, I was in the Kuramo area, an hotel in the Kuramo area, and we saw people already driving through this road. So, and you can imagine by the time this is completed, business along this axis, hotels will spring up, property will spring up, and people will make a lot of money. It will improve significantly the economy of this whole area. Travel time will be reduced drastically. That is what that's what infrastructure does to you. Infrastructure will galvanize the economy.
Jide, I cannot wait to take you to my Mkparenin if the road is completed.
It has been predicted that when it is completed from the Ahmadu Bello Way end,
which is where it begins.
To Ore in Ondo State will take you 1 hour 30 minutes or less.
Can you imagine?
When it is completed.
You think that was before 3 hours we are still on that axis?
Yes,
and from Lagos to Calabar, when it is completed, it will take you between 3-4 hours.
On the outside, 5.
Max.
This
with laybys and
there will be a lot of motels along the way.
Yeah, business on the way.
But people will just choose to be pessimistic because
you hate the man.
Because it is
so what does it amount to?
This is a man that when I was still covering the central bank, there was a time I was still a business correspondent between 2000 and 2003. I go to the CBN every day. Any day it rains, then you won't be able to do anything along that area. The Bar Beach will have been flooded. This is a man that saw tomorrow where we are seated today at this Eco Atlantic used to be water. Rubbish. You can't. In fact, all the
whole of Ahmadu Bello Way.
Yes, the Ahmadu Bello Way. All the
those hotels there.
Yes, all the hotels.
Even Federal Palace Hotel.
Government, Ogun, Oyo, Ekiti State government that had their liaison offices, yes. They sold it off.
Oh yeah.
They abandoned it.
Bishop Oluwole here.
Bishop Oluwole, yes, that Tinubu Savage, all those areas. You can't go to that place. Now today we are. This place is about 5 kilometers to the even main road where we are on where I'm
There's
sitting.
no fear of
no fear.
Submerged.
I just went to the waterfront with my son this afternoon. I said, "Come and look at this place." Before now, you can't even get here. You know.
And
a man saw this.
The white man had said the only way to create the future is to invent it.
I don't know why there's so much bad blood over the coastal highway. You go to some countries of the world, you see it. Is it a bad thing to aspire to have good things here?
Honestly.
I remember when somebody wanted to do that airport road.
Okay.
Because the road was so bad.
The cynicism.
Yeah, so bad. It was a bad advertisement for Nigeria. He faced a lot of problem, opposition.
Oh, yeah.
And he said, what we want to do is we'll wall it on both sides.
Yeah.
Which is similar to what you see in other big countries. Even Ethiopia, I saw something like that in Ethiopia. Now, he has delivered that road. In my view, it's the most beautiful road in the whole of Lagos. You are driving through it as a Nigerian, you are coming to your country, you will be proud. That is what solid infrastructure does for you.
10-lane.
Yes.
Road.
That's what solid infrastructure does to you. Now, this coastal highway, see him using his measuring tape. Umar is the nemesis of indolent contractors. Look at him with his tape.
Yeah.
So he is a civil engineer and he understands the job, and we are seeing the impact of his good work.
His state is not benefiting from the road. And
Ebonyi is not.
And Ebonyi is not. And the
but
president,
he has shown passion.
He has shown passion.
He's doing his job.
Yes, and the president is not saying this road should start from Lagos and end in Ogun, the southwest. He's taking it to
7 states.
Seven states. And people are still are like, I mean.
You said they are not doing anything. You said they've not achieved anything. Now they showed you what they have done.
This is the road.
Now you are saying, no, why are they doing 30 kilometers of road?
All right, folks, let's go to our next story. You know, the Bola Tinubu presidency has introduced the Consumer Credit Scheme, which targets civil servants nationwide. In it, a disbursement of consumer credit to economically active Nigerians countrywide is in motion. The first phase is known as